Today we're diving into a topic many DC fans have been discussing for nearly a decade: Lex Luthor in live action. For too long, we waited for a truly great cinematic version of Superman's greatest nemesis. While Batman v Superman gave us a portrayal that many found deeply flawed, we finally have a version that does the character justice. Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor, brilliantly brought to life through James Gunn's script. So why does Holt's Lex work where Jesse Eisenberg stumbled? It boils down to three critical reasons that perfectly align Holt's portrayal with the iconic comic book character. First, let's talk about intelligence. Lex Luthor isn't just a businessman, he's one of the smartest people on the planet. His true weapon isn't brute force, but his brain, his ability to predict, manipulate, and outwit everyone around him, from politicians to public opinion. Now, Eisenberg's Lex talked a big game. He uttered a few lines that sounded smart and acted with a superior air, convinced he alone understood Superman's danger, but his actions consistently undermined this image. His master plan to pit Batman and Superman against each other, hoping Batman could kill the Man of Steel, was flimsy. His backup plan, creating a creature by mixing his blood with Zod's body, was incredibly short-sighted. He seemed to have no idea what kind of monster he was unleashing. This creature, Doomsday, immediately tried to kill Lex, who only survived because Superman saved him. This shows a complete lack of control and foresight. The entire plan had no logical endgame. If Doomsday killed Superman, it would then be an unstoppable, unorderable monster that not even the world's armies or other heroes could defeat. It lacked any fail-safe like a self-destruct chip. Ultimately, Eisenberg's Lex comes across as someone incredibly dumb who just thinks he's smart, a trait completely unsuitable for Lex Luthor. He couldn't even brag about building a successful company as he inherited it. Holt's Lex, however, shows us his genius. From the start, he executes a solid plan to ruin Superman's reputation. He strategically clones Superman to create a powerful weapon, but crucially, he ensures this clone has no mind of its own, eliminating the risk of it turning on him. Unlike Doomsday, he reveals he spent 3 years studying Superman's movements and powers, developing 2,500 special moves to counter him, effectively knowing what Superman will do before Superman does. Instead of relying on uncontrollable external forces like Batman or Doomsday, Holt's Lex uses his own intellect to meticulously run the operation in real time, something no one else on Earth could do. His ambitions extend beyond jealousy. He orchestrates a complex geopolitical scheme, supporting an invasion to gain territory through a deal with the president. And if you still need convincing, he literally creates a pocket universe without breaking a sweat, and feat acknowledged as incredibly difficult even by someone like Mr. Terrific, one of the smartest people on Earth. This is a Lex Luthor who uses his brain as his primary weapon, demonstrating intellectual prowess that is genuinely threatening.
My brain will always win! Brain beats brawn!
Secondly, let's discuss personality and on-screen presence. Lex Luthor, despite being a mere human, needs to feel like Superman's nemesis. He must be calm, confident, and intimidating, even standing face to face with the Man of Steel. Eisenberg's Lex was the antithesis of this. He was a weird, twitchy guy, prone to randomly yelling, jumping, making strange noises, and stuttering. He came off as cringy, like a Looney Tunes character or a hyped-up Sheldon Cooper. His presence was non-existent. When confronting Superman, his hands shook, his voice broke, and he even got scared when Superman's eyes glowed red. Physically, at 5'7", he appeared tiny next to Superman, requiring Cavill to kneel to lessen the height difference. He looked like a noodle. He was socially awkward, struggling with public speaking and appearing on the verge of a panic attack. This is far from the charming, confident manipulator Lex is supposed to be. Holt's Lex, on the other hand, exudes presence. Standing at 6'3", he can look Superman straight in the eye, showcasing an imposing physique with tight suits that emphasize his build. His personality is that of a cold, calculating genius consumed by envy. In his first face-off with Superman, while his staff is terrified, Lex remains totally cool and collected, even grabbing his coffee before Superman throws his desk. This iron will, never cracking under pressure, is classic Lex. In public, he's the most commanding presence in any room, able to talk circles around politicians and military leaders, even convincingly portraying fear on live television to manipulate public opinion. Even when he finally loses his composure after Superman escapes his pocket universe, his anger still feels threatening and menacing, not cringy or pathetic. This Lex is a force to be reckoned with, projecting power and intellect that genuinely challenges Superman. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, let's consider motivations and why Lex hates Superman. In the comics, Lex and Superman represent opposing ideals of humanity. Superman embodies hope, kindness, and growth, while Lex symbolizes humanity's worst traits: revenge, domination, selfishness, and deep resentment. Lex believes he is the peak of human potential, and Superman, an alien, effortlessly achieves the impossible, stealing the public adoration Lex desperately craves. Eisenberg's Lex largely veered from this. His primary motivation was rooted in childhood trauma from an abusive father and a belief that God either isn't powerful or isn't good. He transferred this anger onto Superman, seeing him as a fake god. While an interesting concept, it wasn't specific to Superman. He could have targeted any metahuman, even Wonder Woman, whom he knew about but ignored. This felt like a random villain of the weak motivation. Holtz Lex, however, is Lex Luthor through and through. He is obsessed with power, wealth, control, and recognition.
Yes, but as is often the case with cloning, the match was imperfect. He might be even stupider than you, if that's possible. But easier to control.
3L.
And stronger.
His ego is monumental, evident in his offense at being compared to Galileo or Einstein, believing he's the most important person on Earth. The world's adoration for Superman, who simply smiles and saves people, drives Lex absolutely crazy with jealousy. In his twisted worldview, Superman makes regular humans look weak and pathetic, possessing an unfair advantage that hinders humanity's true progress. He genuinely believes that killing Superman will help humanity reach its full potential, freeing them from reliance on an alien savior. He loves the idea of humanity, not actual people, showing no guilt for his actions and willing to sacrifice Metropolis and Superman's supporters. This Lex is the perfect nemesis for Superman, representing his complete opposite, just like in the comics. His hatred is deeply personal and ideological, making their conflict resonant and meaningful. So, there you have it. Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor embodies the genius, the commanding presence, and the deeply personal, ideological hatred that makes Lex Luthor Superman's greatest foe. This portrayal finally delivers the Lex Luthor Superman always needed, a true mirror reflecting humanity's dark side. It's a shame the previous version contributed to the downfall of the old DCU, which had so much potential.